A podcast. What is a podcast, man? A podcast to me was, somewhere where you get your thoughts off that wasn't too mainstream, and it was just something that, that you just, something that you don't get from a radio. But, since, it's big money in podcasts now, so the things change. And I be watching them, what's dope? The 85 South podcast is a really, really, really fire podcast. I like that one, especially with DC and Carlos. Fire podcast. The Joe Budden podcast show really fire. I liked it when it was Maul and Rory. Nori podcast is fire too. But one you should watch is the 9 to 5. What's the 9 to 5 podcast by Solo Vision? It got a lot of stuff on that one. I definitely recommend that one. But out of all the podcasts, sometimes I think like, yo, which the best one, man? Which one is like moving something forward with like real stuff, like some, like the real issue, not the the same old stuff like that. There is a podcast for every niche and everybody though. But I thought about it like, yo, can I make a podcast? I thought about it and I was like, you know what? I can make the podcast. So that is when I started, the best podcast in the world. But to do that, first I have to interview people and then cast them and then shoot it, right? So I'm thinking like that should be easy, but other than I didn't know it wasn't gonna be as easy as I thought. So that's how I started the best podcast in the world. Started with interviews, man.